Before the break, we were discussing the methods of, the need of, and the mechanism of how to develop the think tank and how to use it for the betterment of our society. नाजरीन, कुछ जो मेरे पिछले प्रोग्राम्स थे वो तमाम के तमाम उर्दू लैंग्वेज में थे और मेरे नाजरीन उर्दू लैंग्वेज में इस प्रोग्राम को एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे होंगे, लेकिन एट द सेम टाइम बहुत से यंगस्टर्स जो थे वो कह रहे थे कि वी आर अनएबल टू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट यू आर सेइंग। और इसलिए यह है कि मैं आपको थोड़ा सा रिकैप उन व्यूअर्स को देता जाऊं, उन नाजरीन को कि जो मेरा इंतज़ार कर रहे होंगे और उर्दू में मेरी बात सुनना चाह रहे होंगे। तो डॉक्टर माशूक अली एक फ़िलासफ़र हैं, एक रिफॉर्मर हैं, और मैंने जैसे आपको बिगिनिंग में बताया कि ये पीएचडी हैं इस्लामिक स्टडीज़ के, और ये प्रैक्टिशनर मुस्लिम्स हैं जिन्होंने अपनी सारी ज़िंदगी में ये एक ही काम किया कि किसी तरह से उम्मत किसी एक पॉइंट पे जमा हो जाए। तो अब ये हमें कलेक्टिवली बताने के लिए यहाँ आए हैं कि ये जो मैंने थिंक टैंक प्रपोज़ किया था, जब अल्लाह ताला मदद करने लगता है तो फिर डॉक्टर माशूक अली, डॉक्टर फैसल जैसे दोस्त साथ खड़े हो जाते हैं। तो इन्होंने ये कहा है कि ये जितने मसाइल हैं वी आर रिएक्टिव, जब मसला हो जाता है तो फिर हम उसकी तरफ वी ट्राई टू सॉल्व इट, बट वी शुड बी प्रोएक्टिव, वी शुड थिंक फर्स्ट एंड देन एक्ट। और यह है कि हर आदमी के बस की बात भी नहीं है कि वो एक थिंक टैंक बनाए फिर सारी उम्मत को गाइड करे, और ये हमने छोटे छोटे सेगमेंट्स, छोटे छोटे ग्रुप्स तो पहले ही बना के अपने आप को ख़राब कर रखा है। तो नाउ लेट्स वर्क टुगेदर, and this is the brief orientation and the explanation of the discussion which Dr. Mashook Ali and Dr. Faisal has presented before you before the break. Now we will now again ask the scholars to restart their discussion, and again I will request Dr. Mashook Ali to start his discussion from the same point where we left, and there will be a number of programs on the think tank, and you are very rightly explained different concepts, different theories, different issues and problems. Now would you please explain a bit further how this think tank would be useful for the people and why they should join this think tank?
I think what I'm trying to say in this discussion is that a think tank will provide a strategic direction for the Muslim community in some of the challenges which I have raised in the previous section of our discussion. Then it will also look at policies, and some of those policies will be linked to the wider policies of the city in which we live. After all, I mentioned about unemployment. Unemployment is not an issue just for the Muslim community, it's an issue for our city. Because we have the highest level of unemployment. So how can we as a community deal with our unemployment issues in relation to the unemployment of the wider society in which we live? So the think tank will begin to discuss, will begin to inspire and encourage discussion, and also practical steps that we could make to resolve these issues within our community. So the think tank that we are thinking about, whilst it is focusing on the Muslim community, has got to have its eye on the wider society in which we live. Because we may not have all the resources to find the solutions. Some of those solutions will find resources from the wider society in which we live. After all, we have a public health program. So when I talked about health, what contribution can the public health make to help Muslims become more healthier? Because what I would like to introduce here, these are not issues outside of Islam. Interestingly, all these issues that I've mentioned so far, employability, education, health, are in fact part of our ibadat.
Right.
In other words, it's part of our obligation
Right.
as a Muslim, as a citizen, to make sure that we are in employment,
Right.
to make sure that we are educated.
Right.
Otherwise, after all, the first word
Right.
revealed to the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was Iqra,
Right.
read, seek knowledge. And we are demanded to be healthy,
Right.
because as servants of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we are required to be healthy.
Right.
That is the function of tahara.
Right.
So these are things which are within our ibadat.
Oh.
So we don't have any escape. There are other things which in other programs
Right.
that you are going to have, we will discuss. Therefore, for me,
Right.
what we are at a stage in our history in Birmingham
Right.
where we should now invite
Oh.
the Muslim professionals,
Right.
the Muslim intellectuals
Right.
to join the think tank,
Right.
to provide the evidence
Right.
and the knowledge, the policies and strategy
Right.
to help the community meet those challenges.
Yeah. Now you move in different circles, social circles. What do you think? What type of people would be interested in this think tank?
Well, I think what we underestimate actually our community,
Right.
the wealth in our community. And I don't mean financial help only.
Right.
We have money as well,
Right.
but we have a lot of intellectual capacity.
Right. If you
We
allow
have-
me, there is a caller,
Yeah.
and if you allow me, we can take the call, and the person may be asking.
But
the
quickly, let me give you an example. We have lawyers,
same. Right.
we have accountants,
Right.
we have bureaucrats, we
Oh.
have teachers.
Yeah.
All these people need to be members of the think tank to make their contribution.
Very kind of you. Yes, caller. Assalamu alaikum.
वालेकुम सलाम डॉक्टर साहब अहमद बोल रहा हूँ जर्मनी से
Yes, please.
हेलो
Yeah. We are listening to you.
हाँ जी मैं ये कहना चाहता हूँ आवर सिक्योरिटी से जो मजमून रिलेटेड आपने ये बता रहे हैं
जी जी.
मैं तो जहाँ तक समझता हूँ कि ये जानबूझकर इस्लाम के ऊपर ये हमले जो कार्टून बनाकर इनको
No, we are not discussing the cartoons.
रिएक्शन लिया जा रहा है
Yeah, excuse
और
me,
फिर
please.
उसके बाद बताया जा रहा है
Thank you. Now let me explain the point. We are not discussing the cartoons today. We are not reactionary people. That issue is resolved. The Muslim Action Forum requested the people, and 100,000 people signed a petition, and that petition has been given to the Prime Minister, and there may be some lawmaking and other processes would be now going on. Now let's move forward. We are trying to be proactive. Now come with some suggestions. How should we think about our future, and how we can look after other communities? And to look after other communities, first of all, we need to be strong. Otherwise, I can transfer your question to the intellectuals, to the guests who are here today. But now I will request my audience not to be defensive at the moment. We have not done anything wrong. Now that action has been taken already. Yes, now we were discussing something, and I think now you understand my point, and please now if you kindly carry on the same point.
Yeah, so what I was suggesting is
Yeah.
that we have in Birmingham,
Yeah.
we have very rich intellectual heritage.
Right.
Many of our young people
Right.
are becoming teachers, are becoming professors in universities, are
Right.
becoming lawyers, accountants. They're setting up their own businesses.
Right.
In fact, if you look at Birmingham, the backbone of Birmingham's economy
Right.
is increasingly now becoming dependent
Right.
upon the entrepreneurship
Okay.
within the Muslim community as well as in other communities.
Right.
And we are therefore making a contribution,
Okay.
quite importantly, to the growth of our city.
Right.
Now, how the think tank should be harnessing those people
Okay.
so that the challenges that we face
Right.
can be resolved collectively.
Right.
And the disunity that I mentioned earlier can be overcome
Right.
by the collective contribution
Right.
of these various people.
Right.
And that is what Sharia demands.
Right.
Do you follow me?
Oh,
The Sharia brings these thinkers
together.
together.
Right.
Then there's a process.
Right.
There's a process of ijtihad.
Right.
Muslims forget our own heritage.
Right.
What is ijtihad?
Right.
Ijtihad is about opinion formation,
Right.
how we form opinions.
Yeah, okay.
So we may have different ideas how to build a building.
Right.
That is part of ijtihad.
Right.
But then we have to come to a consensus,
Right.
ijma.
Right.
Do you follow?
Yeah, that's right.
It is a demand
Yeah, okay.
of the Sharia that you come to a consensus,
Right.
that you cannot have 101,000 opinions without first bringing those opinions together.
Right.
And that is why the third part of our methodology of the Sharia is shura, consultation.
Right.
So when I'm making my building,
Right.
I will consult with the architect,
Right.
I will consult with the quality surveyor,
Right.
I will consult with the people who are responsible for water,
Right.
electricity,
Yeah.
gas.
Right.
I will consult with the community
Right.
who are going to use that building,
Right.
because some of them may be disabled.
Right.
This is what is called shura,
Right.
consultation.
Right.
Unfortunately, in our community, we don't do enough of that.
Okay.
And then through that consultation, we come to a consensus,
Right.
an ijma. But there is another part of that methodology which we forget,
Right.
which is to do with urf,
Right.
the custom,
Yes, yeah.
the local custom. Let me give you an example. The three of us are sitting here.
Right.
Look at the dress.
Right.
Is
Yeah.
it wrong?
No, it's not.
But we are conforming to local custom.
Yeah. Right.
If I go to Pakistan, and I've been to Pakistan,
Right.
I will use the local dress there.
Okay.
Do you follow?
Yeah, that's right.
Because Quran does not tell you
Right.
what shape of dress.
Right.
It tells you what should be covered.
Right.
Do you follow me?
Yeah, that's right.
And what colors cannot be used. That is qualified in the hadith.
Right.
Do you follow me?
Yeah, that's right.
So local custom plays an important part,
Okay.
and we forget that.
Okay.
So bringing these scholars and these experts together
Right.
enriches our thinking, and that is what the think tank is about.
Okay.
And it will bring that thinking together to come to solve some of the important challenges
Right.
which we face.
Right. If you allow me.
And by the way,
Right.
that those people are not restricted to one gender.
Right.
Also, we need to hear the voices of the women
Right.
in our community.
Okay.
And we have some very capable and competent
Right.
and educated women,
Right.
but we need to work harder.
Now, would you like to give them a call now and to come up and
Why
give
not?
the-
They should
No,
be
yeah.
part of this.
Okay, that's right.
The think tank
Yeah.
does not exclude anybody.
Right.
It includes, because if we to go back to the family,
Right.
the first jama'ah
Right.
in Islam is husband and wife.
Right.
That is the first jama'ah.
Right.
Do you follow me?
Yeah, that's right.
Then the children come.
Right.
Then that's the beginning of an ummah, of a community in the family.
Right.
Then we go outside to the masjid.
Right.
That's the extension of the community.
Right.
And then we go beyond the masjid
Right.
to the wider society
Right.
to bring all those other people
Right.
together.
Right.
And that is why we are called an ummah.
Right. Now, if you give me just 2 minutes, let's now request Dr. Faisal. Dr. Faisal, what is the mechanism in your mind to form this think tank? Because now you have done a lots of research and you presented some statistics and gave some examples as well.
I think first thing for this think tank to gather knowledge.
Right.
The main purpose, as I said, to bridge the gap between knowledge and policies.
Right.
If we want this country to change their policies how we want,
Right.
we need to gather the knowledge from the community
Right.
and then pass that knowledge to the government.
Right.
And how we're going to do that? As I mentioned to you before, every person from our Muslim community, as Dr. Saab said, even if you are a girl, boy, any part of the country you are from,
Right.
you need to come up
Right.
and join this think tank
Right.
and be the part of this process.
Right.
Think tanks, if you look at the history of think tank, think tank can't start in a couple of weeks or months.
Right.
It's a long process.
Right.
We are going to start the process. You need to be the part of this.
Right.
And there will be a point, inshallah, very soon in future that we will be in a place where we will have a very good knowledge of the voices from different small groups.
Right.
And when these small voices will join together,
Right.
we will have a bigger voice of our community or communities
Right.
to put forward to the policymakers,
Right.
we can give it to the media,
Right.
and also we can present this in general public debates.
Right.
As you have seen before the last election,
Right.
there was a public debate, and they were
Right.
calling all the politicians,
Right.
and that was basically that's we can see a think tank in practical how they were shaping the public debate
Right.
on TV.
Right.
This kind of thing we need to start gathering knowledge from people. So people need to join first
Right.
to give the ideas to think tank, so we can start getting the knowledge and information from the
Well,
communities.
Now this question is to both of you. Now, should we start inviting people from the community, or do you think the people will now take initiative and they will come to us and they will say, yes, now we are volunteering ourselves and we are happy to contribute? What would be the process?
I would like to use the process of the Prophet Muhammad Sallam,
Right.
and that is that he went to the people
Right.
to get their opinions. Do you follow?
Oh.
Our way of doing things, we need to change.
Right.
We usually go and tell the people what to do,
Right.
as though they do not have a brain
Oh.
or they do not think.
Right.
That is a very, very bad way of, and disrespectful way
Right.
of dealing and speaking with our community.
Right.
What I would suggest, Dr. Saab, is that we get an opinion
Right.
from your audience of
Right.
this program and many others
Right.
about, first of all, whether they think this is a good idea,
Right.
whether the issues that we are raising
Right.
are the right issues,
Right.
whether in fact they would like even the name
Right.
to be considered.
Right.
And we have an open invitation
Right.
for those who wish to join
Right.
this debate.
Right.
And with the use of modern technology,
Right.
it is now possible.
Right.
So we could set up a website,
Right.
and that website can have a form,
Right.
ask a number of questions to elicit,
Right.
get various opinions
Right.
about this concept, this idea.
Right.
And if we do find
Right.
that there is great support for it,
Right.
then we invite those who made a contribution, giving their opinions, to become members,
Right.
and they become virtual members
Right.
using the internet.
Right.
And we need to be ahead of the game
Right.
in using technology and consulting with our people,
Right.
and that is the way the Sharia requires us.
Right.
The benchmark
Right.
all the time will be the Quran
Right.
and the Sunnah.
Right.
That will be the benchmark
Mashallah.
for decision making.
MashaAllah.
Do you follow?
Right.
Because those are the sources,
Right.
the usul
Right.
of the Sharia.
Right.
So, Sharia means way to water.
Okay. Yeah, that's right.
And what is water? Water gives growth.
Right.
Water gives life.
Right.
Without water, there is no growth, there is no life.
Right.
Do you follow?
Yeah, that's right.
And that is what the Sharia is about.
Right.
It is a process of consultation, of consensus, of opinion formation, so that we come to a decision.
Right.
Decision about employability, decisions about health, decisions about immigration, decisions about family life,
Right.
all these kinds of things which are challenging us today.
Right.
So we must use this creative process that is in the Sharia.
Right.
That also undermines
Right.
this image of the Sharia of something to do with beheading, something to do with cutting off hands, which actually is not what we are about.
Right.
It is how we use the Sharia to help us live as good Muslims
Right.
in Birmingham and in Britain.
Right. Now, Dr. Faisal, you were thinking about and talking about the concept of seminars and series of seminars. Would you tell us something about your idea how this think tank can be promoted through seminars, through different type of sittings and meetings?
Yes, as you know, we already have our community in different groups. They gather in mosques,
Right.
mostly, and also other places in city council halls and local places.
Right.
So we can, first thing, we can make some questions for the community, and also go and speak to these groups of youngsters. As Dr. Saab said, nowadays we have the largest, youngest population.
Right.
So we need to go ourselves to speak to them,
Right.
and give them the idea of this platform where they can obviously raise their concerns, they can give us their ideas,
Right.
share their ideas. Once we had the knowledge from them and the ideas from them, from these seminars, then we can start making some debates.
Right.
We can call people to, obviously before you do any debate, you have to have some seminars and get the ideas from the public.
Right.
Once you have this knowledge, then you set your seminars.
Right.
In the seminars, your thinking and your knowledge will be more purified.
Right.
And more you debate,
Right.
more purification come in your ideas, and you have a direction where the things are heading.
Right.
Also, suppose there's an issue, some people agree, some people are disagree.
Yeah.
Think tank will also provide the reasoning.
Right. Yeah.
Why the people are agree on this?
Right.
Why, if someone is agree, he's not extremist,
Right.
and if the people are disagree, why they are disagree?
Right.
So there will be an equal balance. It's not that, oh, I'm not agree on this, I should not be participate, I should not go on this program because I don't agree with their views.
Yeah.
If you are disagree on the issue, you should come up
Right.
and give us the reason. So we, as a think tank, all the think tank should have your voice.
Right.
And when they pass this knowledge and information to the policymakers,
Right.
to the government or
Right.
politicians, they will obviously provide the whole study to them.
Right.
That was the issue. These are they will know. Think tank obviously they do the research first, these public debates and seminars. So when you will pass them the information, it will be up to date information for the media,
Right.
for the politicians
Right.
to look, and they will look these things very seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah. The viewers, my guests are saying that the think tank will provide the food for thought to the policymakers, and on the basis of your ideas, your opinions, your thinking, and there will be a purification and filtering process, and to give the meaning to your discussion, to your thought, to your ideas, how these things are meaningful and how far these are useful for the society, and how the policymakers can use your wisdom, your knowledge to make the better decisions for your betterment. Now, because there is no platform for the Muslims, that's why they are not able to make their point, they are not able to present their problems properly, and they are unable to get any favorable decision from the decision making bodies at different levels. As Dr. Mashook Ali explained, that start from the family, rather from the individual, then to the family, then to the community at local level, then to the city level, and then expand that up to the wider community, and try to interact with all of those people who should benefit from you. You don't expect benefits from others because your role is different as a Muslim, and you should be at the giving end, not at the receiving end. The giving hand is better than the receiving hand. You need to improve your education, your health, and your social relationships, your experience, and all type of capital should be in your hand, so that you should be able to change the lives of others. Now, let me give you a brief overview in Urdu as well. मेरे वो दोस्त जो ये चाहते हैं कि वो अपना रोल किसी न किसी तरह से अदा करें और इस कम्युनिटी को बेहतर बनाएं, उनके लिए थिंक टैंक से बेहतर और कोई प्लेटफॉर्म नहीं हो सकता। इसलिए कि ये प्लेटफॉर्म कुछ डिक्टेट करने, कुछ बताने के लिए नहीं है। इसमें ये आप ही लोगों के आइडियाज़ को इकट्ठे करेगा आप लोगों को मोटिवेट करेगा, आप लोगों से वो इन्फॉर्मेशन लेगा जो आप ये समझते हैं कि ये आप लोगों के लिए बेहतर है। जब ये आप ये लोग समझेंगे कि ये आपके लिए बेहतर है तो आप किसी प्लेटफॉर्म पे प्रेजेंट करना चाहेंगे तो यही प्लेटफॉर्म आपके लिए मुनासिब है। तो देन वी विल अरेंज अ सीरीज ऑफ सेमिनार्स। फॉर एग्जांपल, जब हम कभी इकट्ठे बैठते हैं तो वी डिस्कस ऑल दोज थिंग्स इन वन सिटिंग and we don't conclude anything. But in those seminars the things would be crystal clear how we should present those ideas to the policy makers. Now, two educationists, philosophers are with me today, and they have given very thoughtful and thought-provoking ideas. And again I will now request Dr. Mashook Ali to tell us how should we present this idea to the people. How we should say, as I have explained to them now. In your view, yeah, how I think now that will be our my request to you for the next program, because in this program if you will start this discussion now, it may prolong for another hour, and this program will continue, and next time we will start from the same point. The viewers, I am very thankful to you for being with us, and I am thankful to my guests, very kind of you for your time. I am very thankful, and now we will conclude the discussion. Thank you very much, and we will meet again on next Tuesday. Thank you. Khuda Hafiz.